Hello and welcome back to my craft room. Well, it is the 21st of September today. So the Great Big Little Stitchery swap, the first Great Big Little Stitchery swap is done and dusted, and people are already gearing up for the next one, which will start on the 1st of November. So people are already arranging their swaps and things for that. If you would like to join in with that, I will leave a link to the playlist so you can find out what it's all about, and also my link tree, and from there you can find your way to our free Discord community. There's a Stitchery swap room in there, or the Arty Farty Annie group on Facebook. And if you go to either of those places, you can arrange to connect with people all over the world who would like to swap a square of Stitchery. Now, have I got the little square handy? No, of course I haven't. So what we did was we made a 10 centimetre or 4-inch square of Stitchery with a border all around it, about a centimetre or half an inch border, just enough in case, because some people were stitching them together into quilts. Some of us just arranged 1 or 2 swaps. I think I probably had the record when I arranged 45 swaps. But I know there are a few people like me who did quite a few. And these little squares of Stitchery have been flying all over the world, and it's just been such a lovely way to celebrate our online friendships and our love of this amazing hobby, this wonderful kind of creative outlet that is kind of it's more than just a hobby, it's therapy, it's an absolute joy, and I think we all love it, and it's been absolute amazing experience to share it with so many people, and how many people just embrace the whole idea. It's just been absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, you can find, just check out the playlist, the Facebook group, the Discord community, and you will find out all about it. Now, if you have been following along, you'll know that my intention was to put all of my stitched squares into a kind of a stitched fabric, like a journal. And there's been an art swap going on as well. I'm going to put all of them in a separate book, and then I would put all of the bits and bobs, the cards and notes and all the lovely little stickers and things like that, were all going to get incorporated into kind of a fun interactive scrapbook. So what I've just done now is to go through all of my Stitcheries. I've carefully clipped the person's name onto each one because I've now separated them out from the letters and cards that came with them. And I've labelled each one so that now I can go and take straight on photos of each one, because they're going to go in the gallery now. What I've asked people to do is to post pictures of all of the squares that they've had in, and their own squares that they sent out if they took pictures, in the best possible natural light you can get. Natural diffuse light is the best, unless you've got a lovely lighting setup, which most of us haven't. I tend to find in my bathroom or conservatory I get the best light because I've got windows from 2 directions. You don't want a bright ray of sunshine across it. Even a slightly cloudy day can actually work quite well. But yeah, get the best light you can and do it front on, absolutely front on, not slightly at an angle, because then it comes out like this in the picture. Just straight, get straight over it if you can. And to just include the square, the whole square, and nothing but the square. And then post it in the Facebook group with the hashtag Stitchery swap, hashtag Stitchery swap, exactly as I've got it there, spelt exactly like that, no spaces, no capitals, exactly as it says there, otherwise it will not work. Just add that somewhere in the text of your post and it will pick it up, otherwise it will not, and I might miss it. I've got a huge job on my hands to put all of the hundreds of Stitchery swaps that must have gone back and forth across the world into this gallery, but it's going to be a labour of love, and I just think it's going to be so amazing to see them all together. What a collection it's going to be, and what a source of inspiration for us all. So as soon as that's ready, it's going to take me a few weeks. I think it will be quite a long job. Even if I had nothing else to do, it would still take me quite a while, but I have got a few other things to fit in. So I will fit it in around. I'm really hoping I'll have it ready to go by the time we launch the next swap, because that would be amazing. So what I've done today is, separated out all of the cards and notes and things, and I've just got my Stitchery squares here in piles. I think when you see what I've got on my desk, you're going to agree with me that this is going to be more than one book. I wanted to have to make a square format book with a page for each square. And I'm thinking possibly embroider the person's name underneath, do a bit of straight stitching around it, whatever. And I've got some other bits and pieces that people have sent, like little trims and things that I might be able to incorporate as well. So let me show you. I don't know why this is a surprise to me. I think I kind of had it in my head that once I took out all of the extra cards and things, it would come right down, but no. Okay, so let's put these to one side just for a minute. So here are the squares, the main squares that I did for that I received for the swap. You can see I've clipped the name of each person on there because it's quite hard to keep track of. I would hate to get anybody's name wrong. I think most of them I can look at them and kind of remember who it was, but sometimes, you know, it is tricky. And some of these I've had for over 2 months now. So here we go. There's all of the squares. Obviously I need to think about, if I'm going to have them on opposite pages, I need to think about the ones that will look good opposite to each other. Like this one from Annie Crown, which is on the top for obvious reasons. She celebrated not only the Stitchery swap, but the phenomenon that was the whatnot earlier in the year, whatnot fever. I created these whatnot kits and a tutorial and stuff to go with them. And where's my whatnot? Hang on. So here's my personal whatnot. Oh, I've got a tangle of thread around it now. It's been in my work bag. So yeah, this is the whatnot. The idea is that you can put the scissors as well, your little pair of scissors on the little book ring. So everything came in the kit. The little, a couple of bobbins, the plastic bobbins, the book ring, some pins, a needle, this needle threader, the cords, the trims, the fabric, the stuffing, everything came, and this is the one that I made. So a lot of people bought the kits. 75 kits flew out pretty much overnight, and they went all over the world. And Annie has, like, she had, I don't know if she had one kit or more, I can't remember now. She might have had a couple of kits, and she's also made up some out of her own stash, and she's just gone nuts. She's making them for friends, and she's making one for each room of her house, I think. So she'll always have a whatnot handy when she needs it. And I just thought, what a phenomenal idea. What a phenomenal idea. But then the problem was, and this cute little needle thread on it, the problem was, how on earth do I put that in the book? Because you can see how fat the books are going to be anyway. She suggested the same idea. She said, a bit of a cheek to suggest it, but it was exactly what I'd been thinking, which was, I'll make this like the first one in the book and do a cutout in the cover so that this kind of peeks through the cutout in the cover, which I think would be really cute. Because the fact that what a phenomenal year this has been for me. For lots of us with the Stitchery swap, but for me this whole the response to the whatnot just kind of blew me away. So to be able to celebrate that as well is amazing. She's also got these doggy footprints because she was so busy with her new puppy that her square was one of the last ones to arrive. But look at all the work in it. I mean, yeah. So that's to commemorate that. So yes, I've now got to think to myself, how am I going to do this? Is going to be at least 2 books. I'm thinking I need 3 volumes because not only have I got these 2 piles, which were either swaps or people who very kindly, like this one on the top here, Jen sent me, and this wasn't, we didn't swap. I couldn't take any more swaps by the time she joined, but she very kindly sent me one anyway, and we're going to swap in the next one. But this is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I keep feeling they're also tactile. So not only have I got those squares, but there are also these. So this was part of a pile of beautiful stitchery that was sent to me by Christine Preston. So I kept aside the ones that are square format because I thought I can work them into my book. And my plan was, because one is bigger and one is smaller, my plan was I'd probably put them opposite each other like that, and then these ones that are all same size, I would put together back to back and create a kind of a concertina fold out. So in effect she'll get a whole chapter, like a fold out chapter. So that's the ones from Christine. Then there were these. So this was amongst a beautiful parcel of embroideries that Maggie Morris sent me. I think it's one of my most viewed ever videos, because a lot of people watched it and then watched it again to have another look. So again, I want to incorporate these, and they could go in, they could be, take the form of a flip out, I think. But it will all take up a space, of course. I mean, these two are a book themselves, aren't they? I don't want to make the book bigger and have like 4 on a page or something. I just like the idea of it being a little dinky book, kind of not much bigger than the squares themselves. Possibly like A5 size, so I've got space underneath to embroider the person's name. I have got, for the basis of it, I've actually bought some calico. I got this quite cheaply via Amazon. And normally I'd kind of reuse old sheets and things like that for the base of things, but I just wanted this to look really nice and to have plenty to do exactly what I wanted to do, so I've got that ready. I quite like stitching into it as well. And then there's also some other bits and bobs. So this is a lovely pouch that was sent to me amongst some goodies from Susan I don't know, it's Marchette or Marchette. So I've put some bits and pieces in here that I want to try and use, including these wonderful linens that Annie Cran sent me. I'm not sure if these will end up in the book now that I realise how much I've got to go in there. I think they'd also be lovely to use for whatever project I end up doing with those gorgeous vintage threads, Miss Cheatham's threads, that you will have seen recently if you're a regular. And then there's pieces like this. This pouch came from Pat Havill in Australia, and she put in all these extra little beauties. Look at these, and I really would love to stitch these into the book, to be part of the book. Look at these, just look at these. I mean, that I just, oh yeah. So I've got stuff like that as well to go in. All these lovely things I've had. This is a lovely little bag that was given to me by Claire, so we did a swap. She made me 2 stitch swaps and an art swap, and this beautiful bag, which look at this, how cute is that? So in here I've put some of the charms and things that I want to incorporate in one or other of the books. I think that one was Annie Cran as well. That'll go on the scrapbook thing. These ones I thought would be nice on the Stitchery books. There's another one in here, I'm sure there's another one. So those, really sorry, I can't remember who sent me which now, but you'll know who you are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'll put my embroidery threads I'm going to use will go in there as well, to take down to do when I start working on this book. I've been so looking forward to working on this book. And then I haven't finished yet. I'm laughing slightly hysterically here. This also came, this was Susan Marchette as well. And she made me this beautiful, like a needle case, but more than a needle case, because it's got everything. I've started filling it up with stuff. I haven't decided what I'm doing with this one yet. There are some other little bits and pieces here. So that's from Sandy. That was Sandy Irvin, yeah, over in the States. Beautiful little vintage embroidery piece. So I'd love to actually stitch that into the book somewhere. This was from, see, I've had to pin on here so I don't forget who they're from. This is from Mary, so she thought it'd be ideal. She saw the pansies and thought of me, I think, and it'd be lovely to do some thread painting like Create and Craft with Christine did, and incorporate that into the book. I want to make little tabs on the pages of the books and things as well. And then there's this lovely, this was Nancy. She's Slow Nancy in our Discord, and she sent me these beautiful little, really fine batik cottons. I love these. I love that they're the same on both sides. You know, they don't have a right or a wrong side, and they're so fine. It's a tiny little thin pile, but it's like quite a lot of fabric there. And I thought I could use that to make the cover of, well, it's going to be one of my books now. So yeah. Was there anything else? Yeah, I've got some of my threads and things in here. I've started filling up the book with things. Here's some more bits and pieces that were included with swaps. Was this? Oh, was that Susan's? Well, I've written it in here so that I wouldn't forget. Here we go. Oh, it's Heidi. It's Heidi, and I think Heidi sent these as well. So she sent me these beautiful little like vintage looking pins, and also this was from Heidi as well, I believe. And I remember because one of the button that she'd stitched on was broken, and I've got to do a repair on that. I might make it like an obvious, whatever they call that thing where you kind of celebrate the repair. I think this was from Shirley, this brightly coloured rick-rack. So all of that kind of thing, that was for Shirley as well, I think. And then I've got some little bobbins in there to put my embroidery threads on. Claire gave me those. I've had some lovely, lovely, lovely gifts from people. Really, I've just kind of come on quickly now just to show you the state of play at the moment. I'm going to go off and photograph these now, and then, oh look, nearly lost that one, look. That might have been Heidi as well. I'll put that in with the charms. Yeah, I'm going to go off and photograph them and call this video done for now, and just do a series of little short videos showing you how I'm getting on with this, I think. Yeah, I've been so looking forward to this part. Oh, let's get my thumbnail. These little pouches that Pat made are so beautiful and really handy for this sort of thing, just to keep things together. And the same with this, that's the kind of thing I would use to put just what I want, just the threads I'm using or the crochet hooks I'm using or whatever. Get my thumbnail. So you can see I've got quite a labour of love in front of me, but I've been so looking forward to this. And just as the nights start drawing in here, it's a lovely kind of project to be working on. I think my next step will be, after I've taken the photos, will be to go through these again and start pairing them up into ones which will look nice on opposite pages. And then I'll come back and actually cut the calico to make the basis of the pages. So when I get to that point, I'll be back with the next thrilling instalment. Let me know what you're doing with your swaps. I don't think many people have got quite so many as I've got to put together. I know Sylvia did quite a few. She made an amazing quilt with hers. I think Paul is going to make a book. I think Christine's going to make a book. We're calling them our treasuries, because you know, like you used to get a treasury of verses or a treasury of stories, golden treasury of stories for children, that kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking of it as, because every single one of these is a little treasure. Okay, that's it for me today. So let me know if you've got any ideas for what you're going to do with your swaps. You can share them in the Facebook group. Don't you know, it's not just the Facebook group and the Discord are not just about stitching either. Just share any of your creative adventures in there. You know, show some pictures of what you're doing with your squares. I'd be really interested to see what everyone's doing with them. And with the next swap carrying on, of course, you know, you could always start something like a book and then carry on and, you know, add to it as you do subsequent swaps, because I think we'll carry on. Well, enough waffle. Stop. Need to go and get some pictures while I've still got the light. Thanks very much for joining me today. I will see you again really soon.